to welcome the General Manager, NCDMB, Dr. Ama Ikuru. Is the General Manager, Capacity Building, Capacity Development for the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. Faculty guides representing the VCs of University of Jos, the VC of Usman Danfodio University, the Federal University of Agric Makurdi, the Federal University Dutse, as well as the University of Ilorin. Our distinguished panel of judges, welcome as well. Staff members of NCDMB, welcome you to this great occasion. And finally, our contestants and the audience, welcome to the regional competition, the regional finals, the Northern region for the Science, Technology, and Innovation Challenge. So we're going to start off, obviously, with the opening remarks by the General Manager, Capacity Development, NCDMB, Dr. Ama Ikuru. Round of applause, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm delivering this address on behalf of the Executive Secretary, Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB. Let me start by recognizing the VC of the University of Abuja. I believe it will be with us soon. And then all the representatives of the VCs of the top 5 schools in the region. Yeah, you've been listed. Let me not the wrong ones, but I've had all the names listed. Yeah. Let me also recognize the panel of judges, especially those ones that have international experiences and those ones that are just local. Yeah. Yeah. Let me recognize my colleagues from NCDMB who are here with us today. And of course, the good team from Enactus, especially the country director, Ajayi, Michael, and Lala. Thanks for the good job that you guys are doing. Yeah, invited guests and the audience. Yeah. Each time I think about the job that Enactus does, I believe it's always a good thing for us to partner with them because it will move the country forward. Yeah. And I'm sure, I think, did we meet in San Francisco, was it in San Jose? No. Okay. So last year, 2 years ago, I was with Enactus at their World Cup, the finals of what you guys are doing today. And it was an amazing experience because the schools that competed at that level took this little experiment very seriously and they solved real life problems. I'm very delighted that the winning school in that event in San Jose, was from Africa, a university from Egypt. And what did they work on? Very simple solution. In Egypt, young ladies were finding it hard to go to school during their period because of the high cost of buying sanitary pads. If you import everything, they can raise the cost on you and with the inflation and all of that. So that team decided to manufacture sanitary pads locally. They did their research, they manufactured, and with the help from international companies like Unilever, they perfected that. The cost of sanitary pad crashed. And with that, the girls can go back to school. It had real life impact. Why am I starting with that? We are not looking for rocket science. We are not asking you to go to the moon. We are looking for simple solutions that will impact lives every day. Some years ago, upon my joining the Nigerian Content Board, I started pondering about how we can mobilize the efforts of youths and undergraduates in the Nigerian universities. Now, it was in one of those sessions that we had cause to meet with the VC of ABU at the PTDF organized event. And I was telling him, look, we really want to work with the universities. We want to organize a challenge for the universities to actually innovate and find something, develop something that we can use to support local content development. And he asked me, have you spoken to Enactus? I said, who are they? He said, well, they are the ones championing this. At that time, I think ABU was the regional winner or whatever that went for the championship. And then we started trying to locate Enactus, and finally we got Enactus. We started this, which is what has led all of us to the event we're having today. Last year, we organized a similar event we called the uh, Logic Hackathon. Okay, the hackathon is an event like this for groups to come together, but it's not for the campuses. It's for innovators outside the campuses to come together, innovate, find solutions, discover things. And the product that came out of that effort was quite inspiring. We have invested in some of them. We've incubated them. We'll work with them to ensure that they take those products to the market, and become richer people, support the local content effort. And I hope to see that also coming out of this event today. So that said, I'm very delighted to be with you here at the Northern Region Finals of the Science and Technology by Enactus in partnership with the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board. I'm particularly delighted because, the Nigerian content thing is a race, yeah? And we've been missing one athlete in that relay race, the students. We've been pushing from when we started in 2010, the level of Nigerian content was 5%. Today, it's at about 35 to 40%. But then without the final lap, without somebody picking up the baton to cross the winning line, we'll never win the race. Students, researchers, innovators in the country have been very elusive. We've not seen them. But today they're in the room. And I believe you pick up the baton. It's your time, it's your own turn. You can't blame it on anybody, you can't blame it on history. You have to pick up the baton, do your bit, and make sure that we develop technology in the country. Yeah, we are targeting the quantum of goods and services delivered in country to the oil. But I believe with you leading the rest, we can do 90%. And I trust we'll do that. As you are all very aware, the role of Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, which, as you know, was established by a statute, is to develop capacities in country. By capacity, we mean the human capital, people to work in the industry, equipment, tools, to support activities taking place in the industry. And that's really what we do. We train a lot of people. We support the university in terms of their infrastructure. We help our contractors to ensure that they have the tools required in the industry. And day by day, we do things to ensure that Nigerians indeed can occupy the driver's seat in the oil and gas industry. Yeah. So with what we are doing today, when they are talking about the next product, the winning product that will change the game, the narrative in the oil and gas industry, I believe it will be a product from any of the 5 universities seated in this room today. Yeah? And it is serious business. We have to take it seriously. I mean, the other day we were talking about with some experts, and they said, what are you talking about? A Nigerian IT company is being quoted in the New York Stock Exchange for over $1 billion. It could be you. I don't know what you are waiting for. Nothing stopping us again. There's no glass ceiling. Nigerians can really rise to the top. And we look forward to you actually getting to the top, to represent Nigeria. We have a number of good ideas to support the universities, as in the NCDMB. First is the Research and Development Fund that we've put together. Yeah, we started with an initial $50 million. Convert that to Naira is a lot of money. But we want researchers to come up, initiate good research that will support what we are doing. And we are not limiting it to the oil and gas industry. We are saying the wider economy, something that will impact the economy. We have a council and it's well structured, and we are looking forward to the university stepping up to take that fund. In addition to that, we've set out what we call the Nigerian Content Development Fund. So you research, you find a product, there's a fund to help you develop the output of your work. We are working with the Bank of Industries. Initially, we started with $200 million. Now, that's $250 million. But if there are good products coming from the line, we're also partnering with some investors to help their companies grow very quickly. It's possible to get more resources to get things done. So that in so doing, we are taking away the excuse of fund. We won't say you can't get fund from government. Yeah, and the fault is no longer in our stars, but in us. If we fail to take the opportunity of now, then you'll be blamed by posterity for not doing what to do. My executive secretary would have loved to be here to tell the story himself. Yeah. First, to tell you that we know what technology is doing to the industry and to the world at large. It's changing very quickly. Digitalization, the way you learn, the things you do. The other day, somebody came to our office and he said they are going to introduce a new technology that will ensure that all the curriculum you require from your first day in the university to the end is on your small tab. Yeah, you open it, you can take all the lessons and all of that. But we need to force the discipline of you going to class first and complementing it with that technology. So it's changing the things that we do. Yeah, we in support of that, we've gone across the country to build ICT so that you will not be sitting at the computer when you come to the university. You will touch it, you feel it, you use it, and prove yourself through that. And we're also making digital education our key focus. Digital code, they want to train as many people as possible. So I will encourage all of you in this room today to take, the opportunity that we are creating as NCDMB. You don't need to know anybody, you don't need to know a minister. Just go online to our website. Before we leave today, we'll put our website on the board. Go there, register yourselves. Yeah, and you have the chance of being selected or participate either in a training, or we can invite you to partner with you to get one great idea going. Yeah? It may even be a scholarship that will take you abroad to do a master's program or anything. I don't know. We have a big booking, but you have to step forward to say, yeah, I want to be a part of this game-changing initiative. The Science, Technology, and Innovation Challenge, which we initiated with Inactus, has very clear objectives. Yeah. The first is to challenge you as students, yeah, to take up your position and become innovative to support the industry. Second is to help you to embrace the culture of delivery, the culture of research and development and innovation. Yeah. So I'm happy I'm seeing young people, I'm seeing old people in the room. It should not die with this initiative. Take it to your campuses, continuously innovate, find new things, find a market for something, do something different. It's very simple. It shouldn't be rocket science. The wheelbarrow I see outside there breaks down every 3 months. We spend a lot of money and nobody cares. In America, it's a big business. You guys can make that wheelbarrow to last for 5 years. And it's a big industry for you. It's big money for you. Just think, how can we make a change? How can we impact the society? So we are providing the opportunity for tertiary institutions to develop science and technology to support the development of the economy and industries. We are also contributing to develop the Nigerian economy. And then we are promoting and helping the assimilation of technologies in country. I think what I want to say today is not a day for a lot of speeches. Is that the effort, the initiative we have looks so very simple. But if you commit yourselves to it, and it was Henry Ford who said you cannot build a good reputation based on promises or the plans, what you are going to do. Actual delivery helps. Yeah, so you really need to work to make sure you deliver something. And as Abraham Lincoln said, I will prepare myself because chance will find me. Take this effort seriously, deliver something concrete, be ready for the greater opportunities that will come, and all of us will be very successful. So I thank you also very much for being here, and I look forward to the winning team coming from the people we have in this room today. Congratulations, and I thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Amaikuru, the General Manager, Capacity Development, NCDMB, for the remarks. I'd like to welcome the Vice Chancellor, University of Abuja, Professor Abdul Rashid Naala. Welcome, welcome remarks, sir.
Sure. Thank you very much. Wow. It is a great pleasure to welcome you to the University of Abuja, University for National Unity, the U of A of Nigeria. It is the university at the center of Nigeria. And we let people know that we have a destiny in this university, which is called destiny of location. Because we are here We have to lead and others will have to follow. But leading, just as he has said, is not just by mouth, it's by action. And some of the actions that we take are really in line with the preoccupations that Enactus has been doing all this year. I am very proud to have associated with them in the past, and I am very excited at the opportunity that they have brought to our campus. I'm glad that, today you are having this meeting. I know that most of the discussions here will actually set strategies for important action that need to be taken. Nigeria is not just the most populous country in Africa. If you ask me, it is the richest. We are endowed with enormous resources. Enormous resources. Just look at everywhere, on the sky, on the soil, human resources everywhere. And it's very sad that we are still lagging behind. And part of the whole strategy is to say 21st century is a new kind of century. The opportunities of the 21st century is enormous. One, this is an electronic age. The electronic age comes with a whole new opportunities, a whole new wealth. Opportunities to create. It is sad that we will still talk about biting poverty in the 21st century, especially in a nation like Nigeria. But more importantly, that is the sad part of it. Among people who are young, who are youth, who are strong, who are energetic, people who are coming out of universities, most of them are roaming the street. This university will lead in this strategy to change the narrative for us. So I'm very excited at the opportunity to work with Enactus, and I'm glad that I have a number of people here. The Director Center for Undergraduate Research sitting down there. The Director PDP Unit is here. Director, Entrepreneurship Center, so many others. Please continue to work with this group so that we can be on the lead. It is therefore a great honor for me to welcome you to our campus and to declare this open Nigerian Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurship Challenge 2020. This is supposed to have happened. You know that this STIC Science and Technology Innovation Challenge, also 2020. Yes, this is an exciting moment, and I wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Go.
All the best.
So we will now go into the events proper. To handle the competition, I'm going to introduce the Senior Project Manager in Access Nigeria, Mr. Rafa, who is going to be.
Thank you very much, Roland. Good afternoon, everybody, and want to say welcome. As announced, I am Rafa Alambe, Senior Program Officer in Nigeria, and I will be the regional competition coordinator today. First, for the judges to seated, because we are actually the real business of the day now. All the judges take process. Okay, so whilst this information is very important for judges, so we'll have to wait for the two judges to come. Contestants, are you ready? I think this is all the time we're going to be waiting for, right? Great. Thank you, distinguished judges. I will take 1 minute to take us through the rules of the competition today. Each of you judges must be present during the entire presentation made by each team in order for your votes to count. The individual team evaluation in green color and the others in pink color. I will make evaluating each team. Please remember that there is space provided in the forms for comments, and you will highly encourage the comments for the team. You will have a little time between each presentation in which you can continue to expand upon these comments. All judging decisions are to be made independently. If you have any questions today about the process or your role as a judge, please address these questions to me or a member of the lab to say my colleague. Sit right over there. All the individual team evaluation forms in green color and in pink color, and results from today's competition are to be kept completely confidential. The teams will receive your evaluation forms, the ones in green and pink color, to reflect on how to continue improving the impact of your programs, and winners of the competition today will be announced later at the award ceremony. The question and answer session should be used to ask clarifying questions about projects and items presented during this presentation. Would everyone please check their Please help me welcome the team from University of Ilorin with team title Frigo with the faculty guide Dr. Mohamed Amami for the presentation. So the two students come up, while the faculty guide sit down. You have a minute to just get your presentation slide set up. So the presentation is going to take 10 minutes, and you have 10 minutes for the question and answers from the judges.
Hello.
You may now begin your presentation.
Hello everyone, I am Yusuf Babatunde, and today we are going to pitch to you a food enterprise that will impact 10 million lives in the next decade. How do we achieve this? Follow us through this presentation and we'll show you how. This is Nigeria, where 30% of the agricultural land is used to produce food, which is eventually wasted. Nigeria alone wastes 1.3 billion tons of food annually. And this 1.3 billion tons of food wasted can actually feed the 26.2 billion people suffering from hunger in Nigeria. Now, let's meet Yakemi. Yakemi is a mother of four. At one of the largest markets in North State, she earns less than 500 naira daily, and she can't afford education and good health for her children and her family. Yakemi is faced with two major problems. Firstly, she lacks an adequate storage of preserving her food produce. And secondly, when her tomatoes spoils, they are severely underpriced, leading to low income. Yakemi said, and we quote, "Our tomatoes last for only 2 days in this hot weather. We would love to have somewhere to preserve our food produce." Also, let's meet Abu. Abu is a local farmer in Kano State. One third of food produce produced by Abu is eventually wasted. Iyakemi and Abu are just two of thousands of Nigeria. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a solution to solve all these issues, and we present to you Frigo.
Frigo. Frigo is an off-grid innovative cooling system that utilizes the principle of evaporative cooling and solar panels that enables us to preserve food produce for traders and farmers. We provide a locally assembled cold room that is fully powered by solar panels to provide off-grid power supply and IoT equipped for temperature regulation for the increased storage and preservation of perishable food produce like fruits, vegetables, meat, etc. Frigo is off-grid powered. It stores food for longer periods and is able to reduce climatic emissions. And our average weight is 21 tons, total dimension of 12 by 6 by 2.5, and slot dimension. But first of all, let's go back to the principle. Why does food spoil in the first place? Why do we have to preserve food in the first place? Number one, food spoils due to a variety of factors, majorly temperature, relative humidity, time of storage, and ethylene gas production. But the two major factors that we can control and we can influence preserve food for longer periods is temperature and relative humidity. At normal room temperature, food produce spoils is because of accelerated reactions and humidity is too low. So therefore, we provide a system whereby the humidity goes as high as 85%, and which is suitable for most food produce, and temperatures as low as 6% degrees Celsius. What principle we apply principle of evaporative cooling in the sense that if I apply spirit to your hand now, it evaporates and you feel that cooling effect. That simple basic principle of evaporative cooling in physics is what we utilize in this method, because we observe that conventional refrigeration systems utilize compression cooling, which is more expensive and requires high electricity. We decided to use another method, which is the evaporative cooling. Evaporative cooling, we use water tanks that pump water into a 100-liter storage slot for 20 naira per day. Our Frigo size offers about 200 slots, with each slot having the volume of 100 liters. So each market woman pays at least 20 naira per day for each slot for particular food produce. I believe that to preserve a food produce worth 5,000 naira that would eventually spoil for 20 naira, that's a very good bargain. And when we spoke to them that what price works for you best, they said yes, that's very okay for them. Then we a gross profit of 14.4 million naira. Now, an estimated frigo cold room size of 12 by 6 by 3 meters, which we estimate to contain about 200 slots with 100 capacity, would is estimated about 7 million naira, compared to the price of conventional of existing cold rooms, which go as high as 15 to 20 million naira. Because our system uses locally sourced raw materials. We use jute bags, which every farmer can easily afford. We use jute bags, we use pumps, we use hair, whereby every system whereby it's locally sourced. And in Africa, for example, when we spoke with NSPRI, the National Stock Process Institute, we were we were made to understand that in Africa you have to use less moving parts for it to work. You have to make it easy to repair. We put together this system that's easy to assemble and repair when necessary. A conventional refrigerator of that size will go for about 350,000 naira. A solar refrigerator goes even more expensive for 550,000 naira. But our system is estimated to go as low as 270,000 naira, making it more sustainable and efficient in the long run. Competition. We have identified. But one major competitive advantage we offer above them is that we have a rent a slot payment for affordability. A local market woman cannot afford to carry a fridge up and down in a market. So therefore, we have a big of food produce. And when we spoke to them, they were like, wow, that's very lovely. They would love to have it in the market. And also, we also have it's sustainable and less expensive to run. All we just need is solar panels to charge the battery, and batteries power the pumps and the fans. Every component is locally sourced, and every component can be easily repaired. So it's easy to continue running over a long time. It provides ideal humidity. As compared to your normal refrigerators at home, the humidity goes too low that if you put your plantain inside fridge, for example, you see it's beginning to turn black. Why does it turn black even though the temperature is cold? It turns black because the humidity in the fridge is low. Humidity goes as low as 40%, which is not ideal for food produce. Food produce require high humidity as high as 85% and low temperature, but not just low temperature, optimum temperature. Degrees Celsius, not zero, not -1, 13 degrees Celsius, and your banana store as low as 5 degrees Celsius. So with our system, we have a system whereby at 5 degrees Celsius for your bananas, it's easy to preserve that temperature and preserve that humidity and make it store for longer periods. So we're not just preserving making it cold or making it high or making it low, but providing the optimum for each food produce, making it last longer. Now, look at what I've now this is tomato. Just a consumer, you want to go to the market to buy a raw tomato when you can buy this something that is this fresh because this is preserved by frigo because this can last longer over time. Rather than buying tomatoes that have been in the sun for the whole day and are now turning soft, turning wash, obviously you want to pay high for that amount. Our product is highly enabled. Now, what we have is we have 1 to 2 frigo per market. The traders rent a slot on a daily basis. Farmers are able to buy on demand and units can be sold and rented.
So, is this feasible? Is this scalable? Those were the big questions, and that was why we went ahead to visit several markets in non-Kwara State. We also visited the Nigerian Storage Product Research Institute to get their perception over what we are bringing to the market. They were excited. They were happy. They were happy for the fact that we are solving an issue that they've been having for decades, right? So, for our timeline, once we get the required funding to establish one code per market, we do a follow-up survey. Then we educate the marketmen and women and farmers on how to operate it, which is very simple, and also how to monitor the temperature every time. We set it up in a pilot location, we give them a free trial, then we launch. Moving on, our innovation is also in line with the SDGs impact 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, and 13. By preserving food, they can have more bargaining power to sell foods at their own price, solving the issue of low poverty, solving the issue of low poverty. Also, food will be made more available, solving the issue of zero hunger, good health, affordable and clean energy, system economic growth, industrial innovation and infrastructure, and climate action because when food spoils, it emits methane, a greenhouse gas which is 21 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So by preserving their food, we're also solving the issue of climate action. Next slide. With Frigo, we are increasing the shelf life of food by 80%. We are doubling the income of the marketmen and women and farmers, and we're also reducing the emission of greenhouse gas by 10%.
And there before is the team of Frigo. We are pharmacy students, but we were inspired by the need to solve this problem. We were inspired by the need why this should not be the case. We're inspired by the need, and therefore we took hours of research. We've been working on this project since last year, and we've done our research, done our survey. We've spoken with several people across NSPRIs, STIC Energy Systems, and everywhere in Nigeria to come up with a solution that is viable and is market effective. And next slide. And just before you, is a faculty guide, our team of advisors, Dr. Michael Thank you very much. We are Frigo, making food safe.
All right. Thanks for the presentation and the initiative. What body are you working with? You know, before you bring your product to the market, they must have a certification to ensure that the product is fit to go. So, what body are you working with to certify your product for you to be able to put it in market?
Thank you very much, sir. So when we came up with this idea, initially at the Oz Price competition, we were instructed, we had to go to the Nigerian Stored Product Research Institute. That's Nigerian official authority for storing food produce in Nigeria. So we met with Dr. Michael Omodara in NSPRI, which is an official body, and we informed him of our system. So once the system is approved by NSPRI, it can then be taken to the local government in where the markets are located. And we've spoken with the market women who obviously have their unions and they all agree to it. And once the NSPRI approves it, it's easy to be implemented in such settings. Also, we've also liaised with the Kwara State government and we're currently seeking we're also in partnership with the Kwara State government to make it easy to implement. So for us to implement this project, first of all, we need approval from the NSPRI, which we're already in communication with, followed by the market women who have to say they want it in the first place. Then the body of local government has to approve it for implementation.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation. Please, I would like to ask, how many markets have you engaged in learning, and what are your plans to, if you're asked to go to the North Central to engage marketers who are into such products, what will be your aim and your plan to reach out to them? Thank you.
Okay, so we identified that various markets are heterogeneous, various people have different ways of life. So when we and we sort of had a problem when we were when we were relating with NSPR, and what we were told is this. Now, free go can go small or go large. Some people don't plan to share. Some people want it me for myself. As a result, we can go slow. We can go small, whereby each trader can afford each unit. Or we can go large, whereby 5 traders can rent and use 1 unit. So now in Loring, we've gone to Equator market, but there's also other markets such as mandate market. When there's mandate market, there's Equator market, there are so many markets in the Loring. But to express other regions, it's the same principle of one frigo for the community. But if you want to share, you can share. If you want to go slow, so there are different methods of implementation depending on the homogeneity or the heterogeneity of that market.
Okay, I have 4 questions. First one, break even is when you do the code room.
So the break even is estimated at 6 months.
6 months.
Yes, sir.
What are your running costs when you operate the code room?
The running cost for operating the cold room is the water pump, like the water source, the land is the fixed cost, the land area for fixing is the fixed cost, and the security for maintenance. Since it's just one free cold room, so security.
What of your staff?
Staff, it is and a single staff operation.
Okay. When somebody pays 200 naira per slot, what's the dimension volume of the area they're paying for?
So in our slide, we show you that
Yeah.
it's a 100-liter space capacity,
200
100-liter space capacity.
For 200 naira?
Yes, for 200 naira. That means it's looking for them to save like a basket of tomatoes.
1 bag of tomatoes.
A basket for most.
One basket of tomatoes.
For most traders, when we observe them, some of them have like either 1 or 2 per each of them. So it's able to solve.
So if they have large amount of produce also, they can decide to rent more than one
More than one slot.
Yes.
What's the average rate for a bag of tomato? Do you know?
Every day a bag of tomatoes is.
Do you know? If you don't know, it's fine. You don't know, right? Okay, fine. Last question is: are you aware if there are other cold rooms operating, conventional cold rooms in the market where you've been to?
Yes, for now we are in our competitors. We are also aware of other cold rooms, but for what we understand, most of them targeted fish or meat. There were so many few ones targeted tomatoes and perishable food produce.
Are you saying currently?
Currently, yes,
that do not use cold rooms.
In many markets, they do not have, but in some they have, but it's not dependent on the large scale.
Can your own cold room take fish and such other items?
Our cold room can take fish or cold room over longer periods, but it's most to 0 for fish.
Okay, that's all for now. If I have more, I'll ask. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for your presentation. My concern is the efficiency of your product during the rainy season. Looking at the fact that you are using solar panel as a source of energy to power it. So, have you taken time to do the analysis during the rainy season and the dry season? And also, we have weather variations. The weather system in the north is different from in the south and in the west. So, have you considered this in the design of your solution?
So with evaporative cooling, first of all there has to be evaporation. And what facilitates evaporation? Evaporation is facilitated by presence of sunlight and wind speed and air. Now, for most systems to be identified, they are limited by the science functions because they just use sun. So what we did was that we used both suns and fans, in the sense that in rainy season, when the sun is not available, you can actually use your fan to cause evaporation. And for the solar panels now, what we decided to use was battery because because our components use an electrical requirement of less than 100 watts. Because we calculated for the fans about 12 watts, for the bulbs, for the light, and for the pumps, everything just amounted to about 64.8 watts. Meaning that if you have a battery as high as 100 ampere hour, it can power it for up to 10 or 12 hours. So even if you can get even in rainy season, if you can get sunlight for up to 2 hours, minimum of 2 hours, it can power the system for longer periods. And we also have an insulation system whereby, unlike most evaporative cooling systems, when there's no sun, when there you can preserve at that temperature for longer periods until maybe the next 3 and still enable evaporation to take place. Second system is a large battery capacity because our requirement electrical requirement is very low. So a battery as almost as this size can power it for up to 12 hours, even with as little as 2 hours sunlight. And we also have an insulation system whereby when temperature is maintained, it can stop working and can keep a temperature for longer hours.
All right. My question is this: if your product is satisfied for use, what is the means for revenue generation for the project? How do you get funds to execute the project? How do you get funds to execute the project?
Okay, so now to execute the project, we have two major approaches. The first approach is to use a frigo cold room capacity, whereby we build something 12 by 6 about something big. The first thing was that we have applied for the Antonio Limelu Foundation grant. For grants at the moment, we applied for the TEF, we applied for various grants to put this project to implementation. So we are currently seeking for grants. We've currently
and then your breaking even point. I could see that your target audience basically was market women who could co-own, who could buy slots in in a larger co-room. They can buy the slot of 200 per slot. So there was no plan factored into your breaking even for people who want to own themselves. So if I say I want the co-room for myself, I want the space just for myself, is there a cost implication to that? It seems like you didn't factor that into your breaking even analysis.
now
But it's two different target audience.
Now we have two different direct audience. First of all, the market approach, and second of all, the individual approach. And for the market approach, because the initial cost of putting it is large, so we need a lot of time for it to break even. But for the individual approach, there's a cost already. So when you pay your money, indirectly broken even already, because we already have our cost and our profit per product. So once you buy on that spot, we're already broken even per buy. But in the market approach, because about 700 to start, you need time to make that money back. But for the individual approach, on per sale, we already make our profit per sale.
Okay, so I should have mentioned I have about 2-3 questions. Okay, so if you're going to take this to a larger scale, so your sample area has been Ilorin market
Yes,
and all that.
university.
Have you tried to repeat, based on your data you've gathered, have you seen if this cannot be repeated in a market like Onitsha? Oh,
Thank you very much for your presentation. Judges, you have 5 minutes to quickly take down notes if you have, so we can introduce a new term. Just as announced earlier, please, we would encourage that we do not have any side talk or any distraction whatsoever during the presentation and the question and answer session. Thank you. Soltech from the Federal University Dutse and their faculty advisor, Aminu Lawal Hussein.
Good day to you all. My name is Yusuf Murtala Abdullahi. My name is Mohammed Murtala Abdullahi, and we are from Federal University. Okay, we are from Federal University Duse from Soltech.
You may now begin your presentation, please.
My name is Yusuf Murtala Abdullahi, and this is my partner, Mohammed Murtala Abdullahi, and we are from Federal University Duse, and this is Soltech team. Our project is a database management, healthcare database management system that's going to like centralize and integrate patient record into a central database that can be accessed from all over any medical facility. Um, what's the relevance of this program? Relevance of this program is relevant to this program for risks involved in emergency situations. I give you an instance in which there's a road accident in which a person has to be taken into the hospital. Without that management or without information or data, that individual, there will be a lag between the interval between the time at which health services can be rendered. Example, just as I said, there's risk determining due to loss of gap, the gap of due to gap And with that, we have a problem of time of space. It's saving space because we are trying to move the physical and cumbersome record that's being used in management in the system and move it to the cloud and make sure that all data can be accessed from the cloud. Sorry, I didn't explain the risk involved in emergency situation well. The risk involved is that there may be wrong diagnostics or due to due to inability to access data in the right time, there can be loss of lives and it's very detrimental. Next is lack of proper documentation. They are classified. This with this database system, I think we are going to make sure that there's classification of data into different classes, and also the currently used physical record is prone to data loss. Which niche do we feel? I think this is the central electronic medical record. So we are trying to centralize or make sure that we are the key holders of this database system and can be assessed. What is the company's solution to this problem? Just as I say, we provide a database warehouse where patients' record can be assessed. Next. According to the Department of Medicine, in Unilag, 84% of deaths in the year are due to non-communicable diseases, in which 73 deaths are from non-communicable, resulting from road accidents. One of the there are lots and lots of casualties in the ER and the effect also the effect of pandemic that happened last year. It has exposed us the weakness of the Nigerian database system. And